Welcome to our No One Eats Alone dinner. No One Eats Alone is a national day, the 18th of February, and I welcome you to our gut club. You would have already got your list. If you're cooking along with me, you would have already prepared your pasta, your spaghetti, whatever type that you're using. Just remember that if you are just watching, there's nothing to be overwhelmed because you're going to receive your very own recipe book with the step-by-step instructions and all different ideas. With the pasta, I'm not a big pasta eater, but I love to make my fermented pasta. I call it rustic pasta, and I've given you a recipe for that too. Because it was very short notice, you didn't have time to prepare that, so you could just go out and purchase a good quality pasta. Something whether you want gluten-free, there's many varieties. Because we had this ocean theme, I added blue spirulina to mine because I wanted to get the ocean colour. But I mixed it with my green banana flour and it sort of come out not like the ocean, might be out in the deep ocean, but we thought, oh, that doesn't look too good. So I made another batch because I had it fermenting away and I just used my green bananas, as I said. I live in the tropics and I'm pardon for the noise, and I'm blessed with lots of lovely and urban garden here. And these are my green bananas. I love my green bananas. Green bananas are a prebiotic. Prebiotics are fuel for our probiotics. So our probiotics, as we know, are all these amazing fermented goodness that we share. So how does it work? Well, probiotic, pro being for, and biotic life. Well, prebiotic comes before that. It's the beginning of life. So they work like the fuel for these. So in my old days, we just called it fibre, but now it's called prebiotic. So that's the idea of the prebiotic. When you cook it, like with anything that you have of these for life foods, when we take it to a high temperature or a freezing temperature, it probably does diminish all the good bacteria. But it all has its places. And if we're having lots of this on the side, it really doesn't matter, as long as we're getting our daily intake of our probiotics and our prebiotics. So the green banana flour, what I do is I just skin those green bananas, dehydrate them and blitz them, and there you have it. I have tried it without skinning them because it's a little bit tatty on your fingers. You have to put on gloves and just use a knife. It doesn't take long, but if you leave the skin on, it does make it very bitter. So you do need to peel them. So when we talked about setting the table, how did you set your table? You know, you could leave it very simple and just put some lovely flowers. Or you could just put a nice white tablecloth. It's very important to make your setting for you to feel beautiful, even if you're alone. Look, I've been alone for many years and I have a son, I have an 18-year-old son, but I love to still spoil myself. Friday nights are sometimes my very special evening. And I love to light a candle and give thanks for life's bounty, sit there without any distraction and enjoy my meal. That's what February Gut Club's all about. It's about you, loving yourself, knowing that you deserve to have the very best. So one of the ideas that I gave was to use our salted lemon as a centrepiece, because we're using all foods that we used in our January club, where we did the wonderful medicine in a jar, the gut tonic, the sauerkraut, the kimchi, the quickie kimchi, and a pickled veggie. So we're using those, but we're also incorporating a lot of the 10 for 10 from the 10 course, the 10 foods that you make in less than 10 minutes. So salted lemon is one of those, and it makes a beautiful centrepiece. You can put it in if you've got guests coming, you can add it to like a lovely big vase, or just here I've just got a normal container. Put some lime leaves in there and some lovely soda water, and you can put that there as your centrepiece, and it just looks so lovely. But not only does it look really lovely, it has a really good use once your dinner's finished. you can strain it or you can leave it as is if you've got a big container. But what I like to do is I like to strain it. I squash up all the salted lemons so I don't get rid of it, but so that I can fit it into a spray bottle, and it makes the best household cleaner, the best that you ever will find. Isn't that pretty? Imagine that you could have a little row of them all in the centre of your table, and it does look so lovely. So that's your salted lemon. So let's get started. I hope that everybody's here. So we'll start away. So you've already got your pre-preparation, so you would have peeled your prawns. If you're not using prawns, you would have marinated your tofu or your tempeh, and you marinate those overnight in your calcium and mineral-rich vinegar. And all that is apple cider vinegar with clean eggshell and some really rich mineral greens. And look at the beautiful colour that it comes. That is just amazing food. And you can use this as dressings, as marinades, as a sleep aid. You can take a little nip of it before you go to sleep, and you'll sleep like a restful baby. So that's the calcium and mineral-rich vinegar that you would have marinated if you're doing the tempeh or the tofu. We had a beach theme, so I did bring in prawns so that I had some sort of seafood. And it's a very quick, I'm just going to pop over here and grab the pan because they've been cooking away. And so when I say cooking, they're already cooked. So there's no need to cook them. So the heat is very, very low. Just very low, and the idea is just to warm them. The two that you've kept for the topping, they're warm. They also need to be warmed. So what I've warmed them in, and you've got all the ingredients, is the olive oil and some cultured butter. And because it's very low, this is a cultured butter that I make myself from my kefir. And you can get all these recipes, and we will be, as our gut club goes along, we'll be doing breads, bread, butter and spreads, and we'll be having all types of topics. So now the next thing that we add to there is our pasta. So this is my green banana one, the rustic one. Now if it's been warm, because we cooked that yesterday, and so what you do is you can do it either way, but I like to just run hot water through it, so now that it's nice and warm, and you would be adding that onto your pan. Excuse my fingers here, would have been much nicer if I had a glove. Anyway, there we go. So now we're going to add some kimchi brine. And if you didn't have kimchi brine, I told you could use some chili, like some chili paste. Fermented chili paste is good. But we're just going to use the chili brine, the kimchi brine. So that oh, that smell. Oh, it's beautiful. It's just superb. Now onto there, we're going to add some grated parmesan. That's a block of organic parmesan. I didn't make that one. Oh, I'm putting lots in there. That's lovely. So we'll make that, and it's nice and warm, so that's going through. Now to that, we'll add some parsley. The parsley is the one thing that you leave to the last to cut. Everything else you can do the day before. You can grate that. You can have it all ready to go. That's the idea of this. It's something that you can throw together. If you've got guests coming, it's all done and you can enjoy your guests. Tomorrow we'll be doing starters to show you how easy it is to entertain. That you can entertain with these foods. You can just put them together so quickly. So yeah, the parsley, you would have shredded that, just cut that up like just as you were cooking the prawns. Because if you cut that too soon, it'll discolour. And like my beautiful dark blue or grey or black, whatever colour it is, that came out, my blue spirulina, people eat with their eyes. And I always say to people, even when we're first starting to learn to eat your fermented foods, it can take up to 7 to 10 times to try things before it connects it. This tastes all right. Some things you'll taste straight away and think, oh, that's just beautiful. But some things, yes, you have to have a few changes. A few goes. I always say, do the one bite rule. Always try it before you decide that you don't like it. Did you know that there's only one emotion that we actually learn? And it normally comes around potty training time. Not nice talking about potty training when we're making this beautiful food. But you know what that is? It's disgust. And no more does it come into play with food. Oh, that is smelling beautiful. Oh, I wish you could smell it. How's yours smelling at home? This is just, oh, it's just superb. So what did I put in that little jug there? I blitzed up in there. I blitzed up some fermented garlic. Some fermented garlic. I just put in 2 little cloves of fermented garlic. Actually, I know where the smell's coming from. I put in a honey infused one as well. And look, it's got in there, it's got cinnamon and bay leaf, and that's just infused in our bush bees honey. Just a garlic from our garden. How beautiful is that? And that is just the most tastiest. Even the honey is beautiful. If you can feel the lurgy coming on, but when you eat all these foods, the lurgy just doesn't happen. But if ever you do have a visitor or something and they have the lurgy coming on, you can just put a little bit of that garlic honey and a little bit of warm water. She's a beauty. But yeah, that's got cinnamon and bay leaves and beautiful. So yeah, that's the smell. So it's got that little bit of honey in there, the infused garlic. How beautiful is that? A little bit of fermented turmeric. Now these are in your 10 for 10, so you've got all the recipes of it. And a little bit of fermented ginger, so they went in there. Now that is done in a lime brine, so it's perfect to add to there. You can add your lime brine, or you can just crush up. What I did was a salted lemon. But that lime brine, that just makes it beautiful. You could just pour that in like that, and that will just give it the most, even if it's tofu, it's just absolutely beautiful because it has that turmeric and ginger flavour. So then that's just all smashed and into there that's added. So how beautiful does that look? That's just superb. We're finished. See how easy that was and quick and how tasty it will be? So then we'll just pile it all onto the plate. And once again, excuse my fingers. Those beautiful little prawns. Oh, the smell. It is just beautiful. All the parmesan's all melted beautifully. So what we're going to top on the top of there, we're going to put the shaved parmesan. So I just used a 250 gram block of organic parmesan, that was it there, and I just cut the end off and I shaved that with a potato peeler. And the rest was just grated, that went in there, so the shaved bits will go on. Get them around there, Lenny. We're going to put these 2 little folds at the top. We're going to put some nice flat leaf parsley. I'll just pop that back over there, so you don't need that in the road. I would top it with a bit of kimchi. Kimchi is just a beautiful topping. It's just lovely. So I would put a few little kimchi, the daikon that's come out, and it'll give it that nice little bit of spice. And some shaved. Where did my shaved cheese go? Or did I put that in there? Have I already put that in there? It was there for the top. Looks like it's disappeared on me. A few little pieces of shaved parmesan. So how tasty does that look? Isn't that beautiful? What's yours looking like at home? It's just like... Ma. So I told you could just go and get a nice quality loaf of bread, and you can put your olive oil and wait till before you float your balsamic vinegar. So you just put the little fill the top with the balsamic and add it just before you're about to serve it, and then it'll float. It'll look so pretty. You can leave your bread whole and you can just slice it off at the table, or you can pre-slice it and wrap it in the fridge and keep it there. So, and then you've got the oil to dip. And with that, a nice kale salad is always a lovely accompaniment. Now, with the kale salad, and I would put that little tray of pickles. I'd put that little tray of pickles. You wouldn't have to put that kimchi on top. If you just have a little tray of all your fermented goodies, you can add your own topping to it. So there's like your pink falafel pickle. This one is like a little mix, a little garden mix. And of course your kimchi. So if you just add that to your table, you can add your own topping as you go to whatever that you prefer. So this is wild rocket, and it's been rinsed and kept in the fridge. I've got some of my own bread. This is out of the Motherhood bread book, and it's sourdough sprouted bread. It's just so easy on your digestion. That's the same. That's what all these foods are. That's why my pasta doesn't. It just is very. I call it rustic because it is very rustic, but it's very tasty, extremely tasty, and it's easy on the digestion. So that's my bread. So once again, you can put that there, and you could dip it into the oil. That would be just perfect. Or of course you could. Oh, there's my shaved parmesan. Oh, babies, I just put you back because you need to go on there. We can't not have you on there. Look, they're already melting. We're in very hot times here. And I have to turn my aircon off because you'll hear it. So there it is. Had to have that on there. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? Can you see that? I hope yours is looking good too. And you can start serving yourself and start eating if you haven't made kale salad. If you want to wait, that's perfectly fine as well. So yeah, so here it's all been rinsed and it's ready to go. So you could just serve that to the side because you've got lots of flavours there, and you could mix through one of your fermented goodness because that will give you its own natural. They're pickled themselves and they'll give you their own natural flavour. It's just like adding a vinegar really. So you could just put that to the side and top it, and you've got your oil and your bread. What a beautiful, easy, simple, tasty, eye candy meal. Just so beautiful. But what I'm going to add in here, you could add some fermented pumpkin. If you don't have fermented pumpkin, you could just bake some pumpkin. That's actually pumpkin and sweet potato. If you're fermenting your pumpkin, you can do it like you're making your sauerkraut, and you'd work on about 75% cabbage, and the rest is your pumpkin. It is raw pumpkin because the fermenting process will process it for you, so it's easy to digest, and because they'll pre-digest the food for you. So in this case, we're just putting the baked pumpkin and the baked sweet potato through there, a little bit of my little baby chili, and they're like a little capsicum, sweet pepper. We call them baby capsicums, but yeah, they're like a little sweet pepper, and they've got the kefir cheese in there. So that's just it. You could put some sun-dried tomato and some olives. You need to have some olives, and I forgot to bring my olives out, so I'll have to add my olives later. And I've got some coconut cheese here. This is the coconut kefir cheese. It's been rolled in sumac, which is another beautiful little spice that's good on your digestion. And it's beautiful to add to your little cheese balls. So these are just coconut cream that's put through with your kefir. If you're not familiar with kefir or kefir, however you want to pronounce it, they're just a little culture. And they often are called a grain, and you just put through your milk or your nut milks. And then if you want to make a cheese, a soft cheese like this, you do a second straining of it through muslin. But we'll get into that further on when we get into more of our gut clubs and we get into the cheese. So this is done in a beautiful, beautiful olive oil. So I'll use some of that. And there you've got the most wonderful kale salad. And that bread's lovely with a bit of oil there too. You could put a little bit of your gut tonic in there, because that's like better than any seasoning. So you always use that in replace of your salt. So like if you were going to put salt on there, that's what you use. So there you got it. There you go. How beautiful is that? With this little star bread. Oh, they're falling to bits. I've moved them too much. So that's your accompaniment. So that's our dinner. So it was pretty easy, wasn't it? And very tasty. And so I would have plated that up. I forgot to bring a plate out. So there you have your very quick. You see how quick it was to prepare, and just that little bit of preparation the day before, and you've got it all done. So anybody could call in and you could make a beautiful meal. It's just easy to eat and easy to serve. So I will be tomorrow in our gut club, our implementation weekend. I'll be doing starters. So I'll show you how easy it is to turn even a starter into a main meal. And I'll also show you how you can, just from your fridge, when you've got a little supply of these, how you can throw together a wonderful food, an antipasta platter. If you put, like, if you can imagine if you had that pre-done in the fridge, like we did yesterday, and you had guests call in, and you just pulled out an antipasta platter where you just got these, where you can just put it all together, put it out there, and while they're doing that, you just quickly do that, which takes only about 5 minutes, throw all that together, and then when they're finished that, out comes your main. And then of course on Sunday, we'll be doing the sweets. We'll be adding sour to the sweets to show you how you can just do it there. And you can, and with the sweets, you'll be able to store them. You can put them in the freezer. Yeah, it's going to kill the good bacteria, or some of it, but that's okay, because this is all about doing things fast so that you've got food there that you can invite people around, or you can come home from whatever, you've had a busy day, you can light your candle, you can put on your music, whatever music that you love that relaxes you or keeps you all jived up, whatever mood that you're in, and you can put together a beautiful meal. That's what this is all about. It's about making it easy for you. Remember your I ams, that I am okay. Press into that heart. I am okay. I am safe. And I am loved. And I'll see you tomorrow. Chin chin.